Greetings, dear Cancer. Welcome to Tifa's Tarot, and I hope you're doing well wherever you are in the world. And today we're going to go ahead and take a look at your 2024 yearly predictions. Okay, so this will be a oracle slash tarot reading where we are using the oracle of the Radiant Sun to pull your oracle messages. So I've already done that. I've meditated on your energy and pulled all of your messages already, and we're going to do one card from January through December of 2024. Okay, so with this, it's going to give you your dominant energy that I'm picking up for you, and it's basically an astrological profile, right, where it's going to be one of your ruling planets mixed with a zodiac sign, right, which is going to give it like just a little bit more or character with it. So we'll go ahead and explain those. But we also want to just add a little bit more detail to the reading. So we're going to clarify each of those messages with 2 or 3 cards from the tarot. And we are just using our good old original Rider-Waite-Smith deck, all right? So with that being said, if you are a Cancer and it is in your sun or your moon or your rising, then it is my sincerest intention that the reading that I provide for you at this time can resonate with you in some capacity, and that you are able to receive any messages and really just apply them for your highest good. Always, always for your highest good, okay? Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. Let's look first at your January. So as you enter into the year, with this moon in Pisces energy, right? The card signifies that it talks about empathy. So at this time, you could be feeling very empathetic, of course, having just this feeling like wanting to do for others, really understanding people in some way. But this also signifies a time where your intuitive abilities are very high. So if there are things that you have going on in your life where you are needing to take an intuitive approach to, you're going to have a really strong knack for that at this time, all right? And that could be, you could use this into your advantage by tapping into public opinion in some way, right? Because that's one thing about empathetic people, is like that ability to tap into others. But you can really utilize that to your benefit in whatever endeavors to kind of help you to understand what people want, what people need, right? Maybe there's something that you can provide for that, okay? So it's like taking advantage of your sensitivity at this time and your receptibility to other people and how they feel as well. Let's go ahead and clarify that. Let's clarify this moon in Pisces for Cancer. Clarify moon in Pisces for Cancer. Okay, so it could definitely have to do with communication. Maybe there's a communicative approach that you take with someone, or someone is taking with you. Then the 5 of Wands. So this could have something to do with competition if you are an athlete, for example, or there's something that you need to have a competitive edge over, because this talks about competition and needing to excel in some way, okay, to really be the best. So what I'm seeing here for you in January, there's messages that are coming towards you where you could be very successful if you learn to kind of go with the grain and to understand people a little bit more. So it's like it's a strategy of winning where you're not being overtly aggressive. You're more tapping into that intuitive side to be able to get things done, if that makes sense, okay? So I see that competitive things are coming into the scene right in January, where you're going to be ushered to really kind of use your intuition and your empathy to get you ahead of this, all right? So by the time we get to February has you in Venus in Pisces. So you kind of start the year off with some very sensitive energy, because Pisces is known for being a very sympathetic, very it's like a sympathetic sign, right? Or sensitive, I should say. So when you get to this Venus in Pisces, Venusian energy is very much attached to a lot of our worldly possessions, like our home, our jobs, even to some degree, what we find is luxurious. But it could also be related to our partnerships as well, how we function in relationships with those that we are close with. And when you have it in Pisces, it indicates this the word here is submission. Okay, so it is almost like you're submitting for love. You're putting, if you're in a relationship, it's like you're more prone to put your partner ahead of you, right? Just trying to make your partner happy by any means necessary. So you could be feeling like a little bit shy at this moment when it comes to like your love life and your romantic endeavors. And you could start to be a little bit frustrated because you could be having this feeling like you're giving your power away in some way, or it's almost like this martyrdom is approaching, where you're just like feeling like you're submitting too much or giving too much of yourself, okay? So being very careful when it comes to that. And it's showing up in Venus. So it has something maybe to do with your job, or it could have something to do with if you're in a relationship, your romantic relationship. By February, you're feeling like, I'm not saying that you're feeling like really pushed, like it's not like your person is being aggressive. It's just like you are conceding too much. And there could be some very subtle, what was it like like you start to feel like very subtly not regretful, oh god, what is that word, where like you're frustrated, but it's also like you start to kind of like blame them also, okay? I just can't think of the word. Okay, Mercury retrograde, I just lost that vocabulary. But let's clarify like what that really means here. Let's clarify the submission card for our Cancers. Okay. So you've got the King of Wands. You could be dealing with a fire sign, or that could really just indicate like you see the big picture of it all. So even if you do feel like you're conceding a little bit, it's like, okay, but there is an objective. There's a reason for why you are giving up your power, why you want to make this person happy, or why you want to feel like you're like a pushover in your relationship or your job. Like there's a means to an end for it, and I think you see the big picture of it, right? But it doesn't mean that you're not feeling the stress of it all, this dutiful responsibility, because you've got that Nine of Wands energy, which kind of just means that you are taking an approach where it's like, I'm doing it, but I'm just like, I'm tired. Like, how much longer do I have to do this? And you also have one more card here. I'm going to just pick up. Kind of flew over here. Right. Because at the end of the day, you're very optimistic. You're very hopeful about this endeavor, because you got the Star card here, which is Aquarius energy, but it's very much having hope, okay? So it's like, even though you're giving so much of yourself, you could be resentful. That is the word I was looking for earlier. You could end up resenting your job or resenting the person that you love, but you feel like the sacrifice is worth it, because you are in this energy where you're able to see the big picture of it all, okay? And so even if it's just like this temporary inconvenience of you feeling like you have to like submit more, you're willing to do that. So I see that heavy in your February. So by the time you get to March, I guess this makes a little bit more sense. You kind of get into the Saturn and Virgo, okay? Which talks about isolation. So the planet Saturn is, it's kind of like that, it's like time, right? They call it Father Time, where it's like, it shows the ways in which we are restricted or have limitations placed upon us. So it's like having 24 hours in a day, right? Everyone gets that 24 hours, but there are like certain responsibilities in that 24 hours that you have to adhere to. You got to be sleeping some of that. You have to be, if you have other responsibilities, you have to adhere to that as well. So, and then you have whatever leftover time. So, and it depends on your individual responsibilities, right? So when we talk about Saturn in that way, it talks about like that limitation. But when that Saturn is in a Virgo position, it really talks about having really high standards for yourself in some way. And you really need to just kind of like let go of all of this like pressure that you've been putting on yourself, okay? And even if that means like just like telling people to bug off for a little bit and you just like working on yourself or working alone, in some ways going to be really favored at this time, that you're not going to really want a whole lot of people around you at this time. But it also can show that you could be kind of beating yourself up and being a little bit hard on yourself, and that you really don't need to do that. Like, let go of some of that pressure, okay? So let's go ahead and clarify that, what this feeling is. And this is for March. Let's go ahead and clarify. Okay. All right, Ace of Wands, and the Seven of Wands. So Ace of Wands just talks about starts of new passions, right? So you throwing yourself in things that you want to do, okay? That are self-fulfilling for you, and really standing on that. You stand on business with that one, right? The Seven of Wands is about standing your ground, and it has that energy of like, I said what I said, okay? That's what Seven of Wands is. So if you are feeling the need to really kind of isolate yourself and be alone at this time, you're really being encouraged to do that and really like stand on that, like, and not do what you've done the previous month by allowing yourself to be a pushover. I see you really like asserting yourself, and the way that you get that balance out is by telling people like, this is what I want to do, like, deuces, I'll see you when I see you, okay? So I see you really doing that. And getting burnt out by that, because maybe you've just put too much on your plate, right? And by March, it kind of blows up and you just kind of isolate, okay? So when we get to September, you have some more Saturnian energy, and you get Saturn in Leo, okay? So Saturn in Leo talks about creative endeavors, right? But the the message of this card is generosity. So it could be talking about creative things that you are doing that you can share to other people. But the idea is like you're sharing this thing, but you do not necessarily expect anything in return, right? And that you're going to get the most results by limiting your expectation of things and people, okay? It's not wanting to be to get extra, right? It's like being good-hearted and putting it out there, and hey, if you get the blessings, you do, okay? It's also because it's in that fifth house, which is that Leo house. There's an element of children involved in this too, so it could be you getting involved with kids and being generous with children in some way as well, where that is highlighted. That could be highlighted as well if you have kids or the kids are around you at this time. Let's go ahead and clarify that. Whoa. Okay. All right, so you got the Three of Pentacles, which shows lots of cooperative energy at this time. You working really well with other people, people working well with you. This could also be at the job where you're just, you could be training somebody, showing them how to do things, right? And then as a result of that, like you end up getting a promotion, right? Because you're blessed by going out of your way to do something without anything in return. You also got that King of Pentacles here too, showing that you have there's a potential for you to be very generous around this time because you got it like that, okay? So it could be like your resources are looking right, your money's good, and that you just happen to have the abundance to be able to bless other people with during this month, okay? So that is your April. All right, let's go ahead and go into your May. So now we're in mid, kitty, please. So now we are mid springtime, right? So we get to May. And May is the first time you get some Mercury energy here. So here you've got the energy of Mercury in Virgo, okay? So mercurial energy has to do with communication, the ways in which our expression, how we express ourselves, right? So when Mercury is in Virgo, what that could look like, you are having, it's like, there's a choice that has to be made, and it takes very careful consideration to make this choice. So you are not advised to rush through this choice. You're advised to really like make a list, even if you have to make a list of the pros and the cons, and to take notes on a decision. It's going to really require you to be like planning ahead. But there's definitely a tough choice that's coming up that you're being advised to really kind of just hold on and take your time and to really think about it from all angles, okay? Because it is cautioning you, right, to not really rush and just kind of hold back at this time, all right? And to take the time that you need to make decisions, okay? Or any important decisions that are coming around at that time. Let's see if we can get some more info on this decision or what you need to be careful about. That could be like if you're a writer and okay, hold on, let me just pull. So that could be like, for example, if you are a writer, don't just like submit the first draft. It's like get an editor, have people look through that, look over it once or twice or thrice, right? But it's like just doing work like that, okay? Where you're being very careful. So yeah, you're definitely being called to do something great at this time, because the Judgment is about like waking the F up, right? When that whistle or when that horn blows, it's like, okay, what are you going to do now? So there is something about whatever this decision is that's kind of like a make or break situation, because you've got that Judgment here where you're really being called to do something. And then you've got this Five of Cups too. Whatever this decision that you're making could really leave you feeling like depressed in some way, or it could be just the weight of the decision that you have to make. Keeps you kind of prone to being a little bit melancholy, where you're feeling like, oh, like, so that could be a potential emotional issue that kind of comes up as a result of this, right? Of really like having that pressure put on you could cause you some emotional problems, right? Where you start to get very sad, right, around this time. So now we get to mid-year. So we're approaching summer and we get to June. So by the time you get to June, you are looking at Mercury, another Mercury, but this is Mercury in Cancer. Okay. So Mercury in Cancer, which is your sign, because Mercury is about communication. So this is about important communication coming from your family or maybe to your family. It could be like advice from family or to family as well. It's also this emphasis of like your upbringing, your traditional way of thinking, right? There could be issues or conversations that have this influence that are going to be influenced by family, really close family and really close friends, right? Could really come into fruition at that time, because this is communication sign, but when it's in that sign of Cancer, is very close to your homestead, right? So we're talking about our family, our friends. Let's go ahead and clarify this. Let's clarify. Yeah, no, could have something to do with the childhood, right? You got the Six of Cups in reverse. So this is like someone from your past, or this could have something to do with kids if you have kids. But it's in the reverse position, so it's like something is not necessarily going well. There's a sense of disillusionment that's happening. Could be some rose-colored glasses, or not necessarily seeing the situation or that person in the right light. It's like if you have a kid and you think, oh, this is my little Bookie Bear, but Bookie Bear now is like 16 years old and getting into like things that need an intervention, but you're still seeing your Bookie Bear as a 3-year-old, but now they're not a kid. So it's like not being able to, like, there's some type of disillusionment about this idea or this person. Like, and I know everyone doesn't have kids. I'm just using that as an example because it is the Six of Cups, which could talk about that, or could just talk about someone from your past. So it could be like a person in your past that's not showing up in some way, right? But this is related to intuition as well. So there's something that you are really being ushered to really pay close attention to when it comes to this person from your past. Okay, it's going to be very prominent in this month. Let's clarify one more. You got the Two of Wands, right? Where it's like whatever this communication that's happening, it is going to require you to start planning something as well. Two of Wands is being able to decipher the information that you've been given, and now is your turn to do what you will with it, okay? And that'll be your choice of what you want to do. And obviously, it's going to differ for everybody. Okay, so that's June. So we're moving into now with June, end of June, July, it's Cancer season. So this is your season, it's your birthday, right? Go shouty, it's your birthday. And by the time you get into July, you have this interesting moon in Scorpio, okay? So when we talk about the moon, the moon's effect on our life, the moon is like that subconscious. It's the way that we are, like it's like, while the sun is what we portray, what people see from us, the moon is like who we are on the inside. The moon is who people who know us on intimate levels, like our friends and our family, like understand us to also be. It's that like layer, like people are like onions, right? Everyone's got a layer. So that moon is more of like your internal way of how you operate, right? Or how you think, how you feel even. So with that moon in Scorpio, this is like signifying that whatever happens in July, it's going to be some very deep emotions that you're feeling about at this time, where it could be like it's just this undercurrent of a very deep emotion. So it's like you have this high tendency for love and hate. It also talks about, this card also talks about inheritances, right? This could be something happens where you get an inheritance of some sort that could really change your life in a significant way. This is also secrets that are hidden below start to come out, right? When we have that moon in Scorpio. So this talks about something that changes or shifts the power dynamics in your life in some way. And you feel very strongly about it. So this is for July, but let's go ahead and clarify that. Let's clarify that. Yeah, whatever it is, it keeps you up at night too, because you got that Nine of Swords, which is about having anxiety, restless nights, having it really affect you on a mental level. And you got the Knight of Pentacles, okay? So it could possibly be with an earth sign, whatever this feeling is about, but it's also just could indicate during this time, so it's like while this crazy emotional undercurrent is happening in your life, at the same time, you're also being very practical about it as well. And you're understanding that, hey, life goes on. I can't, like, things just don't stop when you're going through like difficult emotional times, right? And with that Knight of Pentacles, this shows that like it's business as usual for you. You're staying patient, you're staying diligent. You're just continuing on with the course of your life and doing your routine, whatever your routine is looking like at this particular time. Even though you are mentally in some type of unrest state as well, right? But on the outside, you're still doing what you got to do, okay? All right, Cancer. So, Cancer season's over. We're shifted. It's still the height of summer if you're in the northern hemisphere, or winter if you're in the southern. But we get to August. Now, by the time you get to August, you've got this Mars energy. This is Mars in Gemini, all right? So Mars energy is about our assertion, like the ways in which we are aggressive. What are the tools? What are the ways in which we operate where we have to go do something, right? When you need to get a job, what kind of strategies do you take to really like get that done, right? And so Mars influences like every part of our life, right? Because it's very like action oriented sign or action oriented planet. And it shows us the ways in which we like push out. So with it being in Gemini, and Gemini is a very communicative sign, there's something about the way that you speak, or it's also very quick because Gemini is also very like quick-witted as well. So this is a need, and here in the card you can see it says decision. This is a need to make a very quick decision. It also gives, there's also meanings behind this, that there could be something that's very quick, heated argument that kind of comes up. It can also indicate fighting about some contractual things, right? So whether that's on your job or investments, or, but there's a high tendency for that where a decision has to be made, but it's got to be made quick. Like you don't have a whole lot of time like you did earlier in the year when you were in that Mercury and Virgo, right? This is that Mars energy, is like making a decision fast, like, and having to act on something fast. Let's see what this is in regards to. Ooh. Okay. So okay, this is in regards to letting down some burdens that you have with that Ten of Wands, right? Whatever the decision is, it's like, it may be, or this could be that this decision that you have to make causes a lot of pressure on you as well, too, okay? And it could be about starting something new when it comes to a love relationship. So Ace of Cups, okay? Where it's like you make this quick decision to either let go of something and maybe like start a new love decision, okay? Or going towards something that you love. Could be a hobby, could be a person too, okay? And that decision is made at this time, okay? You don't think much about it, you just kind of do it, all right? So by the time we get to September, you get into Moon in Aquarius. Okay, so this signifies this feeling, this need, this want to, it talks about possibly traveling internationally. It could be the past returning to you in some way as well. It could be moving to another country. So that's what you're talking about at this time. But whatever it is, whatever this plan that you're doing, it causes you to be really happy, really optimistic at this time, right? So if we're looking here, it could just be like enjoying new lands, enjoying options, enjoying travel. Okay, got that compass here. So there's something to do with like just things foreign are going to be extremely attractive to you at this time. Let's go ahead and clarify. Gosh. Okay. Whatever this is, it's going to really require you to kind of roll up your sleeves and get busy doing some things. You're going to have to be really diligent about the work that it takes to get to where you want to go. So this is like if you're planning a trip, yeah, you got to take a chance to do that because the Wheel of Fortune is about taking chances. So I feel that when September rolls around, there's going to be an opportunity where you really just want to travel. You want to get away from where you are right now, but it's going to require hard work for you to get there, really like pooling your money together, really being kind of enterprising at this time to see like how you can move your money to be able to do that and to take that chance to do that. It's going to be very heavy in your energy in September. So by the time you roll to October, okay, October is your first sign in Venus. No, is it? I don't know, child. No, it's not. This is the second Venusian card you've got. But we've got Venus in Capricorn. So Venus in Capricorn here, it's not very fun. It's very conventional in that sense, right? It's looking at the relationships that we are committed to and being very dutiful and responsible in those relationships that you have. But it could also talk about having an age difference, right? Where it's giving sugar baby, sugar daddy, or mommy tendencies, right? Where there could be differences in age of your lover. But it could also talk about help, right? That you are giving or you're receiving help from a very important person. Let's go ahead and clarify that. Okay. Yeah, so it looks like also one of two things. During this month, you are flooded with lots of options, maybe for lovers. Okay, I don't know about lots, but there could another option for a lover could pop up for sure. But you just have to be careful that you're not being disillusioned in some way. Okay, because the Seven of Cups also has the tendency to not be too grounded in the reality of things. So it could just be looking at things that are nice and shiny, but like where's the substance behind it? So there could be issues with deciphering kind of what to do because you just feel like you're spoiled for choice at this time. Because your heart is like there's someone at this time that's making you feel like ooey gooey, like you're in love. You are feeling all of the feels. It's like this nurturing thing where it's like whoever you find, you just want to hold on to them in a very conventional way, that your heart chakra is very open. But I do see there being a possibility that you could be having other options as well. Okay. Or this person, there could be a new person that kind of comes into your life. Like maybe you're already with someone or you have something loose with another person. Then all of a sudden you have this other option and you have all of these emotions for this option. And this person could be a lot younger and it doesn't really make any sense, but you're just like, oh, like I just like feel so much for them. And that could be something that becomes very, very pertinent, right? When we get into that October, right? So by November, okay, we're rolling to the end of the year. By the time we get to November, you've got this energy of the sun in Virgo, okay? And it highlights health. So it's going to be looking at your health routines, any bodily concerns that you have. You could be really focused in on your diet and your nutrition at this time, or starting a new health regimen, okay? So there could have been like, that just becomes like a focus for you at this time, okay? Let's just clarify that. Okay. Yeah, you're definitely like, you're manifesting a new reality for yourself, right? But this Magician kind of shows that you really want something else for yourself. So whatever these health things that you're doing in November is you're gonna be able to manifest that and do it quite easily too. And see the results of it quite easily with that Magician. Right? So it's like the work that you give in is what you're gonna receive. And you are going to do it because justice is all about balanced approach. Okay. It's those scales. So it's like, it's reaping what you sow, right? When you eat chips, you get fat. When you don't eat chips and you exercise and you do A, B, C, D, you get skinny. You go to the gym, you get muscles. You don't go to the gym, you get flabby. So it's just like putting in that work to get the results that you want, right? For your body, for your nutrition, for your diet, right? Now, our last card, how you end the year in December, is looking like Moon in Leo. Okay, so the Moon in Leo is talking about, it says appreciation, okay? And if you look at the card, it's like, who's it getting appreciated? It's like she appreciating the bird appreciating her, you appreciate your bounties. Like there's just lots of love and appreciation at this time. So this could be being center stage, like at your home, and remembering that Leo is about children as well. So It could be like your children really needing you at this time and showing you a lot of love at this time as well. It has a high, this card has a high tendency for emotional dependence, right? Maybe for you towards one person, or maybe another person towards you. But there is definitely this, like, just this appreciation of people just wanting to be around you, just wanting to like bask in your essence, so to speak. Okay. So not a bad way to end the year, but let's go ahead and just clarify this appreciation card. Okay. So the Eight of Cups, right, which is about like leaving leaving like quite a bit, right? But it's like, this is not enough. I need more, okay? So maybe you're being appreciated elsewhere and you decide to actually go elsewhere, okay? It's like you're being kind of, your intuition is guiding you towards that, right? With this moon, it's like there is a secret maybe that someone doesn't know or that you don't know, but it's like you're being led to kind of walk away and more into a situation where you are just more loved, you're more cared for, you're more appreciated, okay? And that is how you end the year. All right, dear Cancer, those were my yearly predictions for you. Please do comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. If any of these things could, I don't know, could be possible. It'll be interesting to kind of bookmark this video and fast forward into the end of the year and just to see if any of these predictions have really come true for you in any capacity. So please do comment, like, and subscribe. And I do offer personal readings. And if you'd like to get a personal reading, I have a link to my Calendly that'll be in the description of this video, but it's also in the About section of the channel. Thank you so much, Cancer. I love you guys and have a very happy new year and a happy 2024. Bye.